everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here, this time reviewing on the film Hook. Now, as you know, Hook is a 1991 adventure film directed by Steven Spielberg, and the film is meant to show what if Peter Pan had grown up, and what if he'd forgotten who he once was. So the premise of the film is meant to follow how successful corporate lawyer Peter Banning is a pretty much workaholic trying to handle his job as well as the responsibility of being a husband to his wife Moira and his two kids Jack and Maggie. And you can kind of tell Peter does try to do the right things, but you can kind of tell does try to put his job way before his own kids and not really trying to balance it properly. We kind of see how, Moira and even Wendy does try to remind Peter who he once was. We kind of see how Peter's old nemesis Hook kidnaps his kids, and this leaves Peter going back to Neverland with Tinkerbell to help him come to terms with who he once was, as well as to help save his kids. And I think the way I kind of see the film Hook is like a giant therapy session, remembering who you once were, remembering the person you used to be, and coming to terms with your past self. And I think the film really does handle it well, because, I think when you do kind of see Peter in the world of Neverland, it's him trying to remember the person he used to be, and trying to kind of come to terms with the kid he used to be. And you can kind of tell at first the Lost Boys do give him a bit of a hard time, but when they do realise it's Peter, they do their best to help him be that Peter Pan he used to be. And you can even tell that, Rufio is meant to be a bit more hesitant, but we do kind of see later on that he does slowly warm up to him. And I kind of see the way of the film is meant to have a message about, remembering the kid you used to be, but also being that person to help lead people in the final battle. And I think it's like looking at Mad Max, because the point of Mad Max was that he lost his family, and you did see him eventually in the third film becoming the man he used to be. And I think it's like looking at Mortal Kombat 11, as Liu Kang was meant to be the hero again, but in the end became Raiden's replacement and helped train Kung Lao in becoming ready to fight Goro. I think that was the point of Peter Pan's story in the film Hook. It was him coming to terms with who he used to be, as well as helping the Lost Boys in their final battle with Captain Hook. And the way I kind of see Captain Hook in this film is like a bit of a foil to Peter, as he's meant to be older now. He's meant to kind of feel like there'll be nothing left for him. And we do kind of see how, Captain Hook tries to manipulate Peter Pan's son into becoming something like him. And it's like a parent trying to manipulate their kid into being loyal to them. And I think the point, I would say, near the end of Hook, is also meant to have Peter pass on the role of the next Defender, but also knowing that at some point his role of being who he once was needed to come to an end, and in the end found a worthy successor. And I think it's like in real life that sometimes things can't go on forever, and sometimes you need to find the right person to help carry on the torch, to carry on the mantle, to help be the next person, to help put things on the right path. And I would say, as a film, I think it does feel like a good closure to the Peter Pan story. Like, kind of showing how Peter is meant to remember the guy he used to be. And I think the point of Wendy at the start was kind of meant to help Peter be reminded of who he used to be. And even when she does say, "You've become the pirate," it's her now knowing that Peter was potentially lost, but eventually helped become the person he used to be. And I kind of think, the point of Peter's line at the end, to to live would be an awfully big adventure is knowing that there will be other tests and struggles and other trials to go through. And sometimes, yeah, those trials are always going to come. And I think in the end, Hook is definitely an enjoyable film. It's like a giant therapy session, coming to terms with who you used to be, but also helping to kind of remember the person to help lead people in on the right path. So I think this film definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.